Here is my top 10 wish list of features to be in Warzone 2.0 coming out in 2023. It's quite a way away, but they've confirmed it already, and they've also said they're getting rid of all Modern Warfare, all Cold War and Vanguard content entirely. All of it's gone, meaning there's new room for new features, and I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Use that down below. Drop a like if you agree with some of the things I say. Some of the things is my list of top 10, and I hope you guys can enjoy it, and I want to hear from you down in the comments. I reply to every single comment, so make sure you do write your thoughts down below. So let's get right into it. In the list, I'm going to exclude anti-cheat. I know that's boring, but we need that, and hit detection. Those are the two things that are quite prevalent in the community right now. They should be addressed by the time this comes out, but it will not appear in this list because they're just too obvious. So let's roll on to the video. My name's Gabba. Let's get right into it. Right, so let's start off with the map itself. It's going to be huge, and we're expecting a lot more players to be dropping down into this. It's next gen only. It's been confirmed. PC and next gen only. Sorry, PS4 and Xbox One. Off you go. It's now going to be the top tier consoles that are going to join all together in probably a much bigger map with a much higher player count. We want to increase the engagement and have less running. The problem with much bigger maps is you run for a lot longer. How can you traverse this map and interact as much as possible without getting bored of just holding down sprint? This is very important, so the map design has to be very, very well thought out. My wish list would be back to Verdansk 2.0. Bit of a twist in there. Want it to be bigger, wider, and then more things to interact with, more points of interest. The more buildings and points of interest, the slower the game can be because there's less engagement and less awareness of where people are. But the more players there are, the more places you're going to have to place them. Of course, the bigger the map, the more they can fit in there, but you don't want to run too much. So they want to balance that out, but having something familiar is what we all know and love. That's why we keep playing the Shipment, we keep playing the Nuketown. It's something that we're familiar with, we understand it's quick engagement, but we want to go back to a place we know. Understanding and learning a new map might be a bit much for some people, but the advertisement of, but bam, Verdansk 2 is back in town, it's going to get you excited and you're going to want to play it. You want to experience it all over again. And I'm sure in a year and a half's time, you're going to be very excited to hear that Verdansk is coming back. So the buy stations within Warzone have always been popular. It's quite a unique part of playing Warzone, and that is the ability to buy teammates back, buy UAVs, loadouts, what have you. It can, however, slow down the pace of a game. It's something that you have to travel out of your way to go collect and use that money at that buy station. Then you travel half the time it takes to use that UAV, and it runs out by the time you get there. I would love it if these buy stations were more accessible and something that you could perhaps earn a mobile banking station. So why not be able to, like a field upgrade, something you could activate. It's now a mini buy station on the ground. It sends a beacon up into the sky to alert everyone around you that this has now been activated. This is something that has a higher cost, maybe some exclusive items and some things missing perhaps, but it's there to get your players back. That's the real reason that shop is there. If you're down and out and you've got some money, but you find this little buy station, it'll be amazing to be able to buy your team back and you're now back in the action and hopefully be able to get this dub. These buy stations and these abilities to get teams back on side, you want as many teams in the final circle as possible. That is why we all play Warzone. That means more players get to enjoy the game. Not everyone can be a winner, I understand that, but the more teams towards the final circles, the better, because it lets you leave that game feeling kind of successful. And I think that would be beneficial for Warzone if more players can get to the end, and having these mobile base stations are a great way to kind of prompt teams to buy back their team. While on the topic of team play, what about a 2 versus 2 gulag? Imagine you're in a helicopter, your teammate crashes it. You're now both in there laughing at each other. Wouldn't it be cool if it was 2 versus 2 within the gulag? If you've ever played the 2 versus 2 tournaments, there's nothing like winning that alongside your teammate and a good buddy of yours in real life. It's really cool to strategize where you throw your tactical grenades and what have you. I really like that, and I really think that they could kind of, whoever wins out of those 2 versus 2 ends up back into the game. So even if you die but your teammate wins, boom, you've won the game. That's brilliant. You're back into the game. I think that'd be a cool change and something for the wish list. The next thing on my Warzone 2 wish list would be an interface change. One of the things I don't like about Warzone is the loading times of pretty much everything. It's a long wait. After maybe losing the gulag, you then spectate your teammate, and then you wait till the final circle for them to die. You've now not played the game for nearly 10 minutes. The last thing I want to do is wait around. So Why not load into the game straight away like in GTA? The entire map gets loaded at the beginning of the game, you're straight in, and you're now walking down the street, choosing your weapons, editing your loadout, customizing your player however you wish to, and as soon as you search for a game, you're right in the game right away. There is no need to wait around. It allows us to have mini games and things load much quicker. But one little technology which might be cool is having the ability to show teammates best plays. If you think about kill cams, that technology's been around ages. The game can remember things and show it to you because you're in the game. What about this? If you have a little controller, little button on there, you can press that and it saves the last 15 seconds, meaning you can then show other teammates in your lobby. How about this gameplay? I just did that. The top play or the winning kill, something like that could be saved into your loadout. And of course, then you can share that with the rest of your team. Then, of course, record your screen to share it across the internet if you wish to. I'd also love to see tournaments into the menu in Warzone. It's an official tab. You can imagine you select a tournament and it counts down from 3 minutes. You've got that time to create a loadout, get your team together and drop in. You get a real life prize because the exhilarating feeling of winning Warzone kind of fades over time. But in a tournament, it's going to mean so much more. You get a real life prize for doing so. Top 5 finishes can get something as well. Something really, really rare that you'd only get in the tournament. And I would love to see that kind of delivery of content. Only the best players can achieve it. Something that you really want to work hard to. Also, they could introduce like the really rare tournaments. So on a Valentine's weekend, for example, you get one chance. You can join this tournament just one time. In you go, trios or quads. And you've only got one chance to get the win. And if you don't get it, you never get it. If you get it, you've got yourself an insanely rare item, whether it be a skin or a weapon blueprint or something, or a reticle with a love heart, something really rare that only certain players have. I think it would be your heart would be beating out your chest in the final circle of that tournament. Those things can't be too difficult to implement, and I'd love it if they can add that into Warzone. So the side missions and the contracts. Something unique about Warzone when it came out was it had contracts. Something slightly different from other battle royales. It kept players going and trying something new. And I think if you just removed all of the contracts in the game, you really are left with a quite empty, hollow running simulator. You know, you just run until you see the red dots on the minimap, you know. So having a contract extra, some new ones in there, side missions, whether it be missions that last a few different games, whether it be get 20 kills in the next 20 games at a certain location, missions like that that could be obtained in the game. Or if you take your mind back to Black Ops Blackout, that's the one, Blackout, you could unlock really rare skins from obtaining an item and finishing the game in the top 5, or getting 10 kills, or winning while holding this item. You'd unlock an extremely rare skin. And these skins are so rare that when I was unlocking them, I played them continuously to try and get them. And when I did, it was just euphoric. Win a solo game as Battery of Profit while holding a specific item that would only show up extremely rare amounts of time. That made that game heart. Here it is in the background. My heart was beating because I unlocked a certain skin while doing that. Really, really rare stuff. Those side missions are something that keep players going. I think you know this by now, that all Call of Duty is a very selfish game. If you play multiplayer, there are some players that play with their friends and want to get a win, but most players are on their own, unlocking camos, leveling up, going for their own KD, or their own win ratio in some instances. It's quite a selfish game, and I think they could easily introduce a side mission that is for you only, where you get to level up much faster. You get yourself a 10,000 weapon XP token by achieving something in the game. These side missions almost make it a little bit more like GTA. That has been going on for 10 plus years. Everyone loves it. So why not introduce it into a massive game like Warzone as well? What would be a clever idea to keep people playing and play the game different, to achieve a certain goal or unlock a special item, or reward someone for playing the game the way that it should be played. So work as a team. Have all players in your team damage an enemy. How weird is that as a contract? Everyone on your team has to damage the same player. Therefore, if all of you sort of work together to down a team, there's a good chance that would happen, and you unlock a lot of money, or you unlock a sort of reward or a skin or something like that in the game. I think that'd be really, really awesome. Or a really rare blueprint. Team play is something that I know the game wants, and working and running around as a unit is really, really rewarding. So these types of contracts could be cool. I really do care what you guys want. I reply to every comment on every video. Next up is hard drive space. One great thing about this kind of announcement, or is it more of a confirmation about Warzone 2, is a new game, a new launcher. All the old stuff from previous games, Cold War, Modern Warfare, Vanguard, it's all going to go, which means your hard drive is going to be barren, empty of all this extra stuff. Now, battle passes. I like them. I don't mind progressing through there. It feels good. But half the stuff in there, I have no idea what it is. I've never used 90% of it. If it's not a double XP token or a mastery camo for a weapon, not mastery camo, a mastercraft, sorry, I wouldn't even use it. I wouldn't even care to use it. Of course, there's new weapons contained as well. My suggestion is reducing it down to 50 items. It takes a bit longer to get through each stage, of course, twice as long, to be honest, because the pace in which it takes to get through it is pretty good. But those items contain things such as double XP tokens, or things that are useful in the game, like a new reticle or a mastercraft with a different iron sight. Things you want to work towards. If you said MP40 right now, there's a mastercraft with a really good iron sight on it. It would make you want to play the game to unlock that weapon that may be currently meta at the time or not, but it makes you want to play it, and it almost feels like rewarded that you've got it. Naturally, the weapons that you unlock are fairly early. That's a very smart move, and I really recommend they keep doing that. But I would like it if there was less rubbish delivered to me that fill up my hard drive and give me the new symbol. I don't care about all that stuff. I want to get double XP tokens and things I will actually use, not loads of things that I might use. I read online somebody normally buys the battle pass at the end. Once they've achieved level 100, buy the battle pass and brrr, loads everything. He's done. He can press clear and he clears off all of the new symbols, which in my opinion are quite annoying. I'd rather they weren't even there. So maybe they can get rid of that. Another wish list thing, get rid of the new symbol. I know when I've unlocked something new, I don't need to see this big red thing or green thing on the screen. Something I feel Warzone kind of lacked was a team aspect of the game. Of course, we're all one-man armies walking around. Everyone has the ability to do the same things, if you like. But they could add a slight extra bit of strategy to a team effort, such as each player has a field upgrade included in their loadout choice. This field upgrade would load over time, like in multiplayer. The more kills you get or contracts you complete, the faster it will load. And these will all be like armor or extra ammunition or heal for the other team. This is the kind of thing that I think if we work together, I really would find that most people would find this very rewarding. These team pushes mean so much. It's nothing like that feeling of having it all. You've got all the armor, all the ammunition, you've got your loadout, you've got good positions, let's move forward, there's a UAV, or we have a bounty up. We're aware of where a team should be. Those feelings are so good, and they want to encourage that. So if you work together, get yourself a loadout, you get yourself the ammunition and armor. But there's also other field upgrades I want to tell you about that I'd really enjoy. I've got a list right over here. Why not something like a quick revive, so that player can actually use a field upgrade to give them, for the next 30 seconds, quick revives. They're much faster at reviving. A stationary UAV beacon, you place that down and you got yourself a 30-second UAV just from that location of the map. It does shoot up a kind of flare to attract attention, but it might be what you want. You want to get yourself into more gunfights. Something like that would be really useful. A limited use only heartbeat sensor, rather than having a heartbeat sensor in the equipment category or tactical. Wouldn't it be good if it was a field upgrade and that was something you had limited use on? That was always something that was a bit, is that too overpowered or not? This would be a really good heartbeat sensor, and boom, you've got information for the team. And lastly, a difficult one to explain, a heat map vision pulse. So a quick, and you can kind of see where players were, and it kind of goes warm and red, and it shows you in the direction they must have travelled to. A bit like Tracker, but a little bit more of a general area of where players have been, and it can show you the direction of which they're going. So you know where players have been, and it was a safe place to loot, and where you should be going to follow up and chase them. If each of you can chip in to this kind of knowledge of map awareness of where players are, extra ammunition and armor, a UAV of course for the team, or of course a heartbeat sensor, if you work as a team and communicate better, I think you're going to do much, much better. And I think small victories like team wipes and pushing a building successfully will be so, so good. And working as a unit will be really, really good. This is just the surface. I'm sure there's much more they could do towards that without going down the realm of being Black Ops 4 with having crazy abilities. But just small things that mean, oh, he's the healing guy, he can be the armor guy, something like that. I think that'd be really, really cool. And these are the moments we play gaming for, is to play with your buddies, work together and get those victories. In Warzone 2, I'd really like it if there was some live map changes, something that you didn't know was going to happen within the game and you there dealing with a surprise, something a bit different, something like that would change for the benefit of the player. Never a kind of, oh no, that's, oh, it's more of a, oh wow, cool. That's a good thing. Things that are not normally there, the boom, and now they're there. For example, the sniper tower up in the airport. Wouldn't it be good if sometimes that was boarded up, or the weather has blown some sort of mist over the windows that is now can't be seen out of? Those types of things could happen, and you wander past, you look over at the sniper tower, and it's not possible for someone to be up there. You now feel more freely to run in a certain direction. Or bridges that were no longer passable, you now have to go round through the water. You can now go over the bridge due to a ramp being there. Small things could make a big difference, and little surprises like cracked buildings now have a little access point to get inside and access further loot crates, or maybe there's a vehicle inside, or access to a helicopter that's really high up you couldn't normally able to get to. Doors that are unlocked due to things like that. I feel these little surprises, these unique circumstances that are super rare, things that would happen you would never knew was even in the game, they're just dotted around. I think these little nuggets of surprises will be so cool and things you want to share with the community, and I think it will sort of share online as well. I think it'll be quite a cool access thing to have in the game. So Warzone 2.0 is going to be coming out in 2023. By then, we're going to be seeing electric cars in real life. Now, why isn't there an electric car in Warzone? Now, I know the vehicles in Verdansk are quite balanced in regards to you can hear them from a mile away and see them on your minimap quite far away. Wouldn't it be cool if there were missions to unlock keys which unlock bunkers or a car lot that allow you to take away a vehicle of your choice, something that's perhaps electric that doesn't appear on the minimap or is very, very, very quiet when it's not, you know, at full speed, allowing you to traverse through towns without having everyone on the map know where you are. There'd be quite a nice little twist to things. Imagine being run over by a car that you didn't know was coming. That's quite a shock to the system, make you jump. I think it'll also allow more people to move around the map much faster while doing a fun little mission or side mission to unlock this key to get inside a place with new loot. Hasn't got to be a vehicle, but in there could be more money. There could be, of course, more loot, armor, or new types of grenades. Who knows? Lots of new things, but things hidden behind doors, such as the bunkers. But it requires a key, it requires a mission. Something like that. I think that would be quite cool. It adds a kind of layer of GTA mission style about it for those that like playing those types of games as well. So that's my top 10 list. Let me know down in the comments what you think about that. My name's Gamba. Subscribe for more. You take care. Buka.